Welcome back to my kitchen. So here I am wearing another Marnie Corset apron. This time it's in this sort of cute vintage inspired fabric and a little contrasting pocket. And I know, I've got a lot of these, I keep making them. They're such fun to make and just a little bit of sewing magic the way they stay up on their own. So today I'm going to be making mayonnaise with you. In my family we go through a lot of mayonnaise, we just love it. So I'm going to show you my technique, which is super fast and super easy. To make mayonnaise I use 4 fresh eggs. So I just separate them and pop them into a 750ml jar. I really love these WEC jars. They're a really nice shape, and I like the way that they've got that really wide neck as well. They're just really easy to use. So I find too that if I make it with less egg yolks, it doesn't always work. It can sometimes split. So for me, this is sort of my fail-safe way of doing it. And like I said before, we go through so much of it, it doesn't really matter that I make it on this scale. So egg yolks in. Egg whites I'm just going to set aside, and they could be used for a meringue or a souffle or something like that. Next I'm going to add the olive oil. So my measurements as always are kind of vague, but the way I do it is I take it up to the writing with this sort of medium olive oil. It's not super strong, you can see from the colour, but it's not light either. I do like it to have a bit of flavour. So that much of the medium one, and then I've got an extra virgin olive oil which is really strong and peppery, and I just love that flavour, and I take it up to the top of the strawberry. Put that to one side. Next you want a good dash of salt. Remember, this is a condiment, so it can be a little bit saltier than you might necessarily have on your food if you're seasoning food. The other thing is that when you're using this method, the salt helps it to emulsify. Next, a really good splash of vinegar. I like to use a red wine vinegar. And we just want to put a bit of pepper in there too. Again, that helps with the emulsifying. So for my method, I use a stick blender. Now, there are 2 kinds of stick blenders you can get. These ones with the holes on the side, and these ones with the wavy sides. So I thought this was really clever when I first saw this, but it does not make good mayonnaise. For me, the only ones that make a good mayonnaise are the ones with these holes on the side. So what you want is the bottom base of the jar to fit fairly snugly around that. So that goes in, and we're going to turn it on to a low speed, and I just keep it there for a few seconds, because if I bring it up too quickly, then it's just going to be this rush of oil into the egg yolks, and then it's not going to emulsify. And I can hear the sound that it's making as it's sort of doing its thing, so that's good. So now I can sort of just slide the stick blender, sort of pulsing it up and down the sides, which just allows a small amount of oil at a time to go through. Sort of rolling that around the sides of the jar as it comes up. And you can see that it's beautiful and thick, and how quick is that? Now the other thing I like to do is put a good dollop of yogurt in there. So I really like all my sort of fermented things, and I read in a recipe book somewhere years ago that if you put a bit of yogurt in, it actually helps preserve it as well, because it is fermented. So like, I don't know, that was 2 medium spoons of yogurt, and again just taking that down, and I just pulse it because I don't want to over mix it, because that will cause it to split. And then you can check it for seasoning. In my family we like quite a sort of sharp vinegary mayonnaise, so you might want to add a dash more vinegar and check for the saltiness, and you might want to have a bit more salt, but look at that. Beautiful. So that's done. Pop the lid on, and that will keep in the fridge for, I don't know, week and a half or so. That's how long I keep it. Enjoy.